They say God is always on time. This was the perfect opportunity for me and Joe to sit down and decide, you know what, we get to do what we want to do, how we want to do it. And so I'm so glad that he was able to get free. I'm always able to get free because I always duck and dodge pretty good. However, my ducking and dodging better be up to par come November the 8th because I already envision he going to start punching about 7 o'clock Friday night, and he probably going to stop punching about 2 o'clock Sunday evening. So I need to be ready and be prepared to deal with it. I look forward to it, though, because it's a challenge, and it's a guy who, truthfully, they don't give him the credit he deserves. He's beaten some very good fighters, some very brilliant fighters, and even at this age in his career, in this era in his career, 45-0 is something that just doesn't happen by mistake. So you got to know what you're dealing with here. There's a lot of guys, including one of my great friends, who got injured in the ring over here by the name of Gerald McClellan. Gerald wasn't never 20-0. He got beat about his 13th fight by a guy who was supposed to be an opponent. So it's very difficult for anybody to maintain an undefeated record for that period of time. So I know what I got myself in here. I know what I'm dealing with, and I'm looking forward to it. So come November 8th, y'all be ready. Y'all, if you can't get there, check it out on September. We will be there to put on a hell of a show for you all. And if y'all plan on coming, you can go to Ticketmaster.com and get your ticket and come over there and watch it. Sit ringside because we are going to put on a show. Thank y'all so much. I love being here, and I look forward to coming back.
And we love it. We're loving having you here too. I should introduce a gentleman down toward the very end of the table on my left, your right, ladies and gentlemen, who is as distinguished in his own field as Roy has been in the ring, Alton Murchison, always at Roy's side, seemingly forever anyway, and certainly is the man right now who's got the job of making Roy go tick, tick, tick again. Alton, welcome to London.
It's a pleasure being here. You know, I don't have too much to say. Usually the boxers speak after their staff, but they said it all. This is going to be one hell of a fight. You've got two legends. You've got Joe Calzaghe, who is a hero in itself, and Roy is a hero in himself on our side of the water in the United States. These guys has been trying to put this fight together for a long time, and I'm just pleased that they got together as individuals and by themselves put the fight together without involving anybody else. And it's going to be a tremendous fight. And Roy made a statement just a few minutes ago, and we had never talked about it before. But in the back of my head, I've said to myself that this fight is going to be so exciting, so electrifying, that they'll probably have to do it again. Joe's talking about retiring, but after this fight on the 8th of November, I'm pretty sure he's going to change his mind and ask for a rematch with Roy. So make sure you come there on the 8th of November. It's going to be one hell of a fight.
All right, Alton, thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, just before we do open it for questions, if you just bear with me for just a moment or two, one or two service announcements, they used to be called. Firstly, I'm delighted to also announce today that Roy will not only be on our screens for this fantastic boxing occasion as the main event himself, but he will be part of our future boxing programming as an analyst, and something he's done with distinction already in the United States, providing boxing fans with his unique insight into a variety of our top forthcoming bouts exclusively live on Setanta Sports. That's the first thing. And secondly, if you would permit me again, just to stress that this fight between Calzaghe and Roy Jones Jr., as well as all the other great fights on Setanta, are not pay-per-view attractions. They are not for pay-per-view. They are watched as part of our monthly subscription service to our regular subscribers, and there is no contract required. And thirdly, viewers can subscribe to this fight and others on Setanta in the rest of 2008, headlining with David Hay and Kelly Pavlik against Bernard Hopkins by visiting www.setanta.com. And there is a phone number also, 08712 003322, 08712 003322. That, of course, is in addition to the thrilling action we've brought you so far in 2008, headlined unforgettably by Margarito against Cotto and Pacquiao against Marquez. Truly the best in world boxing so far this year on Setanta Sports. And if I might finally draw your attention to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Bunce, Steve Bunce's Boxing Hour. Thank you very much indeed. which will be live tonight on Setanta Sports 1, 6:30, with appearances from Joe and Roy. Plus, we will be speaking by phone, I understand, to Kelly Pavlik and Bernard Hopkins. All the rest of the news in the Boxing Week as well. I'll be there, but it's Steve's show. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for your attendance today. Just to remind you that we are live on at least one of the sports news networks at present, so we are opening the floor to questions, but if you would please just identify yourself, and we'll do our best to identify you through the lights. The floor is open.
There's one back there.
See?
Harrison Graham, BBC. Roy, as has been said several times already, you're a four-way world champion. You've achieved just about everything you want to achieve. You've probably got more than enough money. What motivates you to carry on?
What motivates me is the fact that I've been a guy throughout my entire career. I think God put me on this earth to be an example for people that if you have faith, you can come back from anything. In 1988, I was robbed of a gold medal in Seoul, Korea. I had to bounce back. In about 1997, I think, they took my title, gave it to Montel Griffin. He was laid out on the floor. How does the loser, the guy laid out on the floor, win the title? So I had to come back and do that. Then, as of late, I went through a situation to where I lost more fights at one time than I ever lost in my career. And now I had to bounce back from that, too. So it's like God knows how to motivate me much better than I ever could motivate myself. And he has me motivated right now. Thank you.
Mike Sinclair, how did you two come to put this fight together? Who called who first?
For me? Oh.
Yeah, well, basically, I rung Roy, spoke to him after the fight with Bernard, had the picture, I got a picture of my boys as well, and just hit it off and just said, basically, we'll have a chat. I was obviously a free agent after the fight with Hopkins, so in charge of my own career. So rang Roy, and we met and done the deal pretty quick.
And when he told me he was a free agent, my heart smiled because I know I ain't got to worry about nobody else but him. And if he says he wants to fight, I can believe that. But if he said he want to fight and he's not a free agent, then you got to figure out, well, what's the other person going to do? So when he said he was a free agent, that was the happiest news I had gotten in about 5 years.
How come you guys have hit it off so well?
Because we're true athletes, true champions, true guys that respect what one another has done. We respect one another's accomplishments. We both definitely, because we're great fighters, want to go out there and see what'll happen if we fight. We want to know just like y'all want to know. We all can talk about it and say, well, we're going to win because of this or we're going to win because of that. But truly, styles make fights. We really don't know either. That's why we want to see. That's why we're so eager. That's why he's going to be in the best shape of his life, and I'm going to try to get in the best shape that I can possibly get in because we want to see what's going to happen.
That's right, exactly. Just said exactly. And the great thing is, my strongest thing is my speed. Roy is his speed, and that was going to be so exciting for a boxing fan. Is how either of us are going to cope with each other's speed, and obviously the winner is going to be the one that can adapt. So it's going to be brilliant. This is a fight where you're going to have everything. Simple as that. It's going to be a beautiful fight.
Ron.
Ron Lewis of the Times. Joe, first of all, you were actually originally meant to be boxing on Saturday. Take us through what happened and what's the situation now with your hand.
Well, basically, Saturday, I didn't realise that it was a mate of mine's birthday. They got a good piss up and that. So I figured I couldn't be two places at once. So I broke a nail and just no.
You're getting used to Welsh humour now, are you?
Yeah, I'm really
just sprained my wrist. I sprained my wrist in the gym, and I had to take about 3-4 weeks off. And obviously, in the biggest fight of your life, you can't afford to go into a fight injured. And as you know, I've been injured so many times in the past, but hey, I'm still undefeated. It's no good fighting and being injured and making an excuse afterwards. It's no good. You have to be 100% on the day. So, thank God, everything is going good at the moment. My hands feel great, and everything's going to be on for November the 8th.
Do you think you got the credit for Hopkins that you really deserved? Or is that another case of the previous 44 fights as well?
Well, listen, the score. I've been world champion nearly 11 years, and I still have people that doubters out there. Jeff Lacey was going to come over and beat me into a pulp. You see right at the Jeff. Then he's overrated, overhyped, one-dimensional. Kessler's the same. Hopkins, he's an old man. But listen, you've got to remember one thing. I'm old. I'm joining that old man's club. So I've kicked young ass for like 43 fights. Why can't I pick on somebody my own age or maybe a little bit older? But I think there's only about less than 2 years between me and Roy. So I know I look about 28, but listen, I'm 36, nearly 37. Don't be fooled.
Roy, what is it gave you the determination, apart from the spiritual beliefs you've referred to already, to rededicate yourself and set new goals in the ring?
Well, I just don't like to leave things undone. I like to make sure I do things the best way, to the best of my ability. And, people say, well, a guy asked me the stupidest question in the world yesterday. Why would you take this fight? Why not? What else am I going to do? Go duck hunting? I mean, at 39 years old, you got an opportunity to fight one of the best guys to ever come through the sport from this area over here. And what else am I going to do? I'm going to play in the NBA All-Star game or the Super Bowl? What else am I going to do? Why would I not take a fight to this magnitude? That was my question to him. So, for me, I get motivated just because it's a big fight. And like I said, I'm just like y'all. We both want to see what's going to happen when we collide. We know we both have a whole lot of speed. As a matter of fact, State Trooper could sit ringside and read a lot of tickets that night because it's going to be a lot of you heard over there? Going to be a lot of speed in the ring that night. So I look forward to it, and I know it's going to be a very entertaining night. And I just can't wait.
Joe, from your side, we mentioned already that this man is a history maker, the run from middleweight to heavyweights. The only man since Bob Fitzsimmons, I think in 1897, I'll say that again, 1897, to have done that. You've spoken many times over the last 2 years that you need to find a reason to fight a man, that there's got to be a target, something that the other guy has got that maybe you desire in boxing terms. Is it the fact that he's a history maker which has made you so determined to at last meet him?
It's just not what we've achieved in the ring, it's his style. Certain fighters get excited by other fighters' styles. And for instance, when I fought Hopkins, I knew it was going to be a boring fight. I knew there was going to be a lot of holding. I knew it was going to be an ugly fight. I just knew that I just had to go in there and do the win. But in this fight, I'm excited because I know the talent that Roy has, and I know the talent that I have. And we both want not just to win, we both want to entertain. That's the difference. We don't go in there trying to hold and steal fights. We both entertainers. As you know, I go in there and throw as many punches as I can throw, 1,000+ punches, if I can in the fight. Roy likes to get in there and do his thing, poke his tongue out, shake his ass, whatever he was going to do in the fight. I'm going to give him some back as well, so I'm sure it's just going to be a great fight. And like I said, I watched Roy from the amateur days, and to be a true champion, you want to fight. You want to face the best. I could stay in Wales and just face somebody and retire, but I wouldn't be content unless I fought the best. So now I'm fighting one of the best fighters has been, and I'm really excited to put my skills against Roy's. And like you said, November the 8th, we'll see who's the best.
Roy, you may have detected already that some of his friends feel Joe is a changed man over the last 2 years, at least in his public perception. That there's a warmth to him and a confidence in public and enthusiasm for engaging with the public that maybe wasn't there previously. From your side, we know what a star you are in the United States. Do you feel that perhaps this is an overdue opportunity on this tour to finally meet, greet, and get to know your British-based fan club, which is substantial?
Yeah, I think it's very substantial, and I think it's a great opportunity. But at the same time, I think the time, and like I said, God is always on time. Joe is opening up probably a lot more because he's free now. He's only working for himself. We're partners. It's me and him. That's a wrap. We got people like Garrett down there to help make this fight happen. Want to give Garrett a round of applause. We got
Gareth Williams, ladies and gentlemen.
We got McGee Wright and John Root down here who also made this fight. They came over here with me when I came to see Joe, so I want to give them a round of applause.
And John Wirt for Roy. Welcome
Keenan,
to London, by the way, John.
A few more, Miss Swanson and Miss James and a few more other people, but for us to finally get the opportunity to come here and to be able to be free. See, there's no pressure. We ain't got no promoters. We ain't got to worry about how much they're going to take from us after the fight happens. So usually you have to be ready for a fight. then you got to be ready for the fight after the fight. Because you fight for your money, then you got to fight to get your money. Well, that ain't going to happen no more. Right. We fight, we ain't much worry about what's going to happen afterwards. The only thing we worry about afterwards now is how quick can we get up in the car and fight again.
Well, maybe one final word from both of you then. Let's stop the loving for a second, shall we, and get down to business. Joe, what will the outcome be on November the 8th?
As you know, what can I say? It's going to be a great fight on the night, but of course I'm going to win. What can I say? I don't lose. I don't lose. So I'm going to say I'm going to win the fight. But above all, what I'm going to say is you're going to see an exciting fight. This is going to be the fight of the year, and I honestly in my heart believe this is going to be the fight of the year. And I know that I have to prepare and to be the best I can be to beat Roy. I can't afford to go in this fight and then underestimate him or as too relaxed as I was against Hopkins, because then be a big problem. The same as Roy, he knows he has to be the best he can be. So it's going to be a tremendous fight.
And last word to our guest today.
Well, I'd like to thank all y'all for coming out here today to check me out. It's my first time really doing a press conference over here in front of you all, and I really love doing it, and I hope that I can rouse and dazzle y'all once more come November 8th. Y'all know I'm going to be out there in shape to do what I do, and like he said, of course, I'm looking to come out with my hands up as the victor, but styles make fights, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful fight, and I do believe that this fight will turn out to be the fight of the year. So look forward to it. May God be with us, and the best man will win.
All right, Roy and Joe, thank you both.